Hello guys, welcome back. This is Fleet Admiral Lewis from the 81st Fleet, and I'm doing a video today to tell people, answer the question of STO, which is probably a question on a lot of people's minds, is why join a fleet in the first place? What do they actually do for you? I mean, most people's misconception of fleets is that they just ask me to join and then contribute everything I'm earning and I get very little in return. And I'm not going to lie to you, in a lot of fleets that is very much the case. Some fleets charge ridiculous amounts for promotions, some fleets charge for access to stores, some fleets charge for absolutely pretty much everything you could possibly want from them. The 81st Fleet doesn't do this. This is not a self-promotional video for the 81st Fleet. Obviously it's on my YouTube channel, but I'll tell you a little bit about us. We only give promotions based on social and active. We've got plenty of provisions and stuff. We do expect people to contribute, and most people do, but we don't enforce it. It's not something that we stand over presiding saying you must, you must, you must. But it seems to work for us. We've got no problems with the amount of provisions we have and so on and so forth. So store access in my fleet is granted at commander rank, and you get that simply by being social and active. And most people are like, well, what is store access? What does that do for me? Well, this is what this video is going to try to explain. So you join a fleet, and in the fleet you have access to fleet stores. On every holding there will be a fleet store, somewhere where you can buy fleet specific equipment from. You cannot get this equipment anywhere else in the game. So we'll dock with our starbase, and I'll show you some of the cool stuff that you can get from here, and then I'll take you on a tour around the holdings and show you how to contribute to them and so on and so forth. So if we just bear with me a second while we load in here. It usually doesn't take this long, but that's your PlayStation for you. So you have to be careful when joining a fleet. You don't want to obviously pick one where they're insisting on massive amounts of everything from you. What's reasonable is usually they expect about 100,000 in contributions before you'll be given your fleet access. And we did hold that at the beginning, but when the fleet got to an excessive size it was too much to handle, so we just decided social and active will do. So this is the fleet starbase, and every fleet has one. It'll get larger as the fleet gets up in tiers. This is a T5 starbase, so it's totally finished and it's got everything we could want. So these guys here that look like all this, you've seen tailors before. Now you can buy the fleet uniform here, and I believe it's in store, but I've got a tailor by accident. Bear with me a second. We'll just go back. So we speak to her, talk to the tailor, and this time we want the store. And look, there's two uniforms there, and as you can see, this doesn't require energy credits, it just requires fleet credits and some dilithium. And I'll tell you how to earn fleet credits in a moment. So, you know, there's some cool stuff there. There's also some ground equipment there, I believe. I'm not sure what they are. Quartermaster. Oh yeah, some turrets and things like that. And then obviously there's your space supplies, and right here you can get some engines, shields, deflectors, weapons, elite weapons, and some of these stuff has, like, you know, damage ×3 on it and crit D, and some very good stuff, you know. And obviously at hangars you can get a lot of your elite hangar pets can come from the fleet, but look at the costs, obviously very high in dilithium and fleet credits, but ultimately very much worth it. You cannot get these if you are not in a fleet, and you can also not get them unless you have store access in that fleet. So, you know, it's very important that you join one that's happy to give you the access you need. So moving on from here, there is also the Spire, and I'll show. I don't really want to take you around all of them because it'll take too long, but what I can tell you basically is that if you go to each holding in your transwarp options, so, or if you just go to the fleet starbase and talk to the operator, this guy will give you the option to transwarp to other fleet holdings, and you can visit pretty much every other holding you want right there. Or you can just take the I believe it's take the shuttle to the colony, or transwarp to the colony, and there you go. And that's every holding reachable. and you can just go there, and everywhere you go there will be a store, and you'll be able to buy some fleet specific equipment. The Spire, I must recommend. There's a little Ferengi guy on there which will sell you these things, which you may have seen in my last video. These 3 consoles that are all identical. These are vulnerability locators, increasing your crit chance and the phaser damage, and they are just absolutely brilliant. I think everybody in the fleet needs to have some on their ship, so by all means go there, get yourself some, because they are the bomb. And obviously in the fleet holdings page we have plenty of provisions for absolutely everybody to go and do a bit of shopping, so by all means go shopping. So while we're here, let's talk about the holdings. The only one that's actually needing leveling up in any way right now is the colony world. So to contribute to a project there, one of these has to be empty. Right now everything's cooking and filled, so there's not you can really do there. This is the reason why we do not insist on contributions to join our fleet. But in early fleets, all these will be full, like going, and you'll be able to contribute loads and earn plenty of fleet credits. Now this is how you do this. This is our project that stays open all the time. This is surplus fleet marks, and for you to earn your, all you need to do is go do a PvE mission. You can do any of the Federation fleet alerts, or you can do an Undine Advance, which will get you the most amount of fleet credits from a single mission. Claim fleet marks, and then you come here and put the marks into this project like that, and there you go. Boom, some lifetime fleet credits. Keep doing that until you've got the fleet credits you need to go buy the fleet equipment you want. So that's that side of it. There's only the other side of fleets is the fleet ships. Again, only available in fleet stores. And the way you get to that, well, you can buy the fleet ships from the one at ESD as well. Sorry, forgive me, my mistake. You can buy your fleet ships from the person at ESD, but you have to be in a fleet to buy them, and it will require you to have a fleet module and a fleet credits and a hell of a lot of dilithium as well, I believe. So I'll just take you somewhere where I can show you that now. That's the Fleet Spire. Now the fleet modules, you can buy them on the from C-Store. They are about 800 Zen, I believe, and you can also get them from the exchange, which are around about 13 million energy credits. So you know, it's up to you whether you want to buy them or not. And what you'll notice is when somebody goes to their ship list like me, is I have 2 versions of a lot of ships. So you'll notice the USS 81 and the USS 82 are both tactical escorts, but this one is the fleet tactical escort. And the difference is, this is the 81. So doesn't look too dissimilar, but if you're noticing, I've only got 4 tactical consoles on there, and the shields and hull so, you know, average, they're not great. But then when I switch to the fleet version of this ship, here she is. It's one of my favourite ships. You'll notice that this one has an extra tactical console, much bigger shields, much bigger hull. So, oh, did we see that number change? Yeah, there we go, sorry. So, like I said, it is important to have them. To get the C-Star ship, you're gonna get the console from the ship you want. You're gonna get the ship trait from the ship you want. Then you go and buy the fleet version and just keep the ship trait on your captain. Take the console with you onto the fleet version, and then you have the best possible version of the ship that you wanted. So again, you can only do this by being in a fleet. So it is very important that you get into a good one that's going to be willing to help you get this stuff. So I'll show you this guy docking at the Spire. So we'll come down here and we'll go to the ship selector, acquisition officer. So there you go, these are your fleet ships. You can only get them if you're part of a fleet. And you see down in the bottom corner there, that little purple module, that's the fleet ship module I was telling you about. And you also need usually about 20,000 energy credits. Now if you don't buy the ship from C-Store, then you will need 5 fleet modules to buy the ship and 20,000 fleet credits. If you already own the ship, like I do here, you see the Fleet Dreadnought, because I've already bought one, it only costs me 1 if I want to buy the fleet version. So ultimately definitely recommend buying the C-Store version first, and then get yourself the fleet version to max it out. Just while we're here, I'll show you those consoles that you can get from the Ferengi guy. It's this guy, and you want to come to the top here, critical hit consoles, and there you go, vulnerability locators, and then you can match with any energy type or weapon type that you're using: beams, cannons, mines, torpedoes, or you can go anti-proton, Cetrion, disruptor, photon, phaser, plasma, and so on. And there you go. So fleet credits, like I was saying, the best way to do them is to fill the projects. If you cannot fit them in the 81st projects, then you can always go to the Armada screen and just cycle onto holdings. Everybody in this Armada has open holdings, and you can contribute to any of these to earn your fleet credits should you so wish. All you need to do is just tap it, and then boom, and there you go, you've filled a project right there and earned some fleet credits. So, you know, happy days. Is there anything else I can tell you about fleets? Oh yeah, obviously being in a fleet also gives you access to other players and a larger network and a larger community. Our fleet's quite large, so if you go to the roster, you'll notice that we've got, you know, at least 2 active pages of players online, and you can group up with these guys, run missions together. Use the chat menu here where you see chat, and then switch it to fleet and use it. Ask if people are running missions, and you'll get answers, and people will see, you know, that you're online, and you'll be able to run missions with them and make friends and all the rest of it. Having friends in this game is very important. It's going to help you get through the harder missions a lot easier if you've got a team of talking, communicating. And there you see, I got a reply straight away. So you know, that side of being in a fleet is also very important. The other side is perks. Not every fleet has perks, I won't lie to you, some of them are complete douchebags, but we try to make sure that there are plenty of perks to being in our fleet. So if we go along to the fleet bank, there we go. Oh, sorry, that's my bank. We've got a fleet bank. You notice we have, the first page is called Fleet Awards, because obviously we like to give away some prizes and some cool stuff to our fleet members. So we've got some T6 ships in there we're going to be giving away, some T5 ships that we can give away, and then we've also got some training manuals to help people. We've got R&D boxes, a dump box where people just throw stuff where you can come and take it at your leisure, you know, traits and so on and so forth. So you know, if you're in a good fleet, you'll notice that they've got stuff like that, and they're happy to give stuff away, and they're happy to help you and train you. If you're in a bad fleet, then they'll just ask for a load of stuff off you and never give you nothing in return. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Let me think. I think that kind of covers everything in terms of the fleets. So good luck out there. Choose a good fleet. I hope you choose the 81st. We're always happy to take new members. We're always happy to take people who are new to the game, and hopefully you'll tune in to my next video. You take care, guys. Thank you for listening.